Welcome to this tutorial. Today we're going to talk about adverbs of frequency. Let's get started. Remember that an adverb is a word or set of words that modifies verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Now usually adverbs modify verbs, telling us how often, when, or where something was done. Have a look at the example over here. We walked really slowly. Note that there are two adverbs in the sentence. Now the adverb really modifies the other adverb, which is slowly. And the adverb slowly modifies the verb walked and tells us how we walked. Adverbs of frequency tell us how often something happens. They are also used to indicate routine or repeated activities. Have a look at the example over here. I always do my homework. Now the adverb of frequency in the sentence, always, tells us how often I do my homework. Remember that these adverbs are usually placed before the main verb, but after auxiliary verbs. Now have a look at the examples below. Our company frequently has brunches with potential clients. Note that has in the sentence is the main verb, and the adverb frequency, frequently, comes before it. But in this sentence, you should always wait for the green light to cross the road. Should is an auxiliary verb, and it comes before the adverb of frequency, always. And the main verb is wait. Now the only exception is when the main verb is to be, in which case the adverb goes after the main verb, as in the example below. We are usually optimistic. Now when the frequency is 100%, the adverb of frequency we use would be always. For example, Sarah always helps her mom with dinner. And when the frequency is 90%, we use usually. For example, we usually go out on Fridays. And for 80% frequency, we use normally or generally. For example, Sean normally eats breakfast at 8 a.m. For 70%, often or frequently. For example, they often go to their parents at weekends. 50%, sometimes. For example, Peter sometimes forgets his kids' birthdays. And for 30% frequency, we use occasionally. For example, I occasionally eat vegetarian food. And for 10% frequency, we use seldom. For example, we seldom go on vacation together. For 5%, hardly ever or rarely. For example, Meredith hardly ever drinks coffee. And for 0% frequency, we use never. For example, they never eat junk food. Now we can also use the following expressions when we want to be more specific about the frequency. For example, every day, once a month, twice a year, 3 times a day, every other week, daily, monthly, annually, etc. Have a look at the example over here. I usually eat pizza once a month. Now, if you need to use more than one adverb of time in a sentence, use them in the following order. First, how long? Second, how often? And third, when. Have a look at the example over here. Peter worked at the mall for 4 days every week last year. 4 days? How long? Every week? How often? Last year? When?